today we're going to read chapter 14, and we're going to first co-read, and then we're going to partner read. But first, before we even start our reading, let's look up at the board and look at our vocabulary for this week. Alright, our first word is chaperone. So I'm going to say it, and then I'm going to point to you, and you say it, okay? Chaperone.
Chaperone.
Alright, remember, chaperone is an adult who supervises an activity, so the students can go to the activity. So, for example, let's say we're going on our field trip in December. Let's say Emma's mama wants to come. We consider her a chaperone. Alright? Remember, it is a noun because it's a person. Alright? Let's look at our second one. Encounter. Right?
Encounter.
Alright. That was a little fuzzy. Let's try that one again. Encounter.
Encounter.
Good job. And what does encounter mean?
To meet.
To meet someone or somewhere. Alright, for example, your first encounter with your friend is on the school bus in the morning. You see your friends before you get on the school bus?
Yeah. No.
Oh, y'all are better than me because I don't want to see anyone before I get on the bus. Alright, so encounter can be a noun or a verb. Depends on how you're using it in your sentence. Alright, so let's all turn to chapter 14. Started there. I'm so proud of you. Now remember, we're co-reading together. So as Day's reading, you're reading with me, okay? Alright. Alright, so we're going to start with first three names. Now remember, during this, I want you to think about the tensions and uncomfortable feelings that our characters face. Alright? Now, who are our characters in the main story? I'm not used to seeing that. Who are our main characters?
James, Dana,
Mm-hmm.
and
Elizabeth. Good job, Adeline. Alright, where's the setting taking place? There.
in James home.
In James's home. So it's originally James's home, and then it moves into being whose home? Dana's home. And what's the big mystery behind the story so far? Shabu?
There was a skeleton in Dana's house.
And who do they believe that is?
Elizabeth Charles.
Alright, good job. Alright, so remember, we're looking for the tensions or uncomfortable feelings that the characters are going to be facing. Alright, July 1856. Not whilst my husband's home. They come when they come. Miss Lisbeth said both women sewed bolts of gray fabric, but James noticed that moss done enfolded into a thick pile at her feet, while Miss Lisbeth struggled with every stitch. Thee doesn't understand, Ma said. Thee may not bring thy pilgrims when Mr. Weaver's in the house. They come when they come. Miss Lisbeth said again. They come like a tide which God himself can't hold back. Lisbeth Charles, thee is the most stubborn mule of a woman I have ever encountered. James looked up from his sketchbook to see if Ma had some teasing in her face, but her brow was wrinkled and her lips pressed tightly together as if holding pins. James was close enough to hear her grind her teeth. My husband comes home tomorrow. Thee may not stay any longer. Alright, let's pause. I want you to turn to your partner and discuss, how do you think Mr. James would feel if he saw Elizabeth in his house? Take about 5 seconds.
Shut the door.
Alright, pause. Oh, I love how y'all pause and turn back looking at me. Xavier. Alright, Nevaeh. How do you think Mr. James would feel if he saw Elizabeth in the house?
Upset
Why would he be upset?
because he thinks that keeping lives are against the law.
Good job. Alright, hands down. Let's keep reading. Alright, too soon. Too soon, Miss Lisbeth said. Tomorrow, Miss Lisbeth put her sewing aside and walked over to the cold grate of the fireplace. It seemed to James that she was ticking things off in her mind, a great list with check marks beside each item. Finally, she said, I won't bring them to the door if the flag isn't out. I'll keep going going with them to the next station. But if thee is here whilst my husband is in the house, thee must stay in the small room upstairs. Thee must not show thy face. And so James yes. They came to some womanly agreement. Thus Ma said nothing more about Miss Elizabeth leaving for a while. I sew much faster when I talk, she said, settling back into the rocking chair. She held her needle in midair. It was never found the fabric. Mr. James Weaver, have you heard about Miss Ellen Craft? She escaped in a wondrous way. No, Miss Elizabeth, he said, trying not to sound too rude. The little prairie church he had in mind just wouldn't come into clear focus on the paper. Must have been because Miss Elizabeth was talking on and on. From Georgia, she was a brave woman, a slave. Amen. Amen, James said, thinking that would be the end of it. Her father was a white man, her master to be sure. Miss Ellen Craft was light enough to pass for white, and she had a great love in her life, William Craft. They were married as slaves could be. This wasn't yesterday or day before. This was 1848, a long time ago. All right, let's pause. Let's keep our eyes on the book, okay? All right, we're at she escaped. She escaped. How? Why was Ma encouraging Miss Elizabeth? Nearly Christmas before dawn, Ellen and William left their cabin and said goodbye to no one, not even her mother. They went to the railroad station to begin their journey. V means the Underground Railroad. All right, let's pause. Turn to your partner and discuss, what was the Underground Railroad? We've talked about this. What was the Underground Railroad? Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, raise your hands. What was the Underground Railroad? Somebody called on. Bradley.
A place where slaves can go without being caught by anything.
Good job. It was a trail that slaves could follow, and there would be stations along the way. These stations would keep them safe overnight. All right, let's pick up where we left off. We're at no ma'am. No ma'am. I mean the legal above the ground on the tracks, riding in a train railroad station. And Ellen Craft rode in first class too. How was she able to manage that? Ma asked. Her flying fingers pulled thread through the fabric. She passed as a rich southern planter gentleman in a fine black suit and cloak, some high-heeled boots with a glassy shine, a gentleman's top hat, but a half-blonde cat would notice right away that this gentleman had no proper beard. So William fixed a muffler around Ellen's face like a poultice, as if she was ailing something fierce like a toothache. And those pretty girl eyes they hid behind thick green-framed glasses. Very imaginative, Ma said, but the Bible frowns on women dressing in the remnant of man. All right, let's pause for a second. There's that word remnant. And what did we say a remnant was? You can raise your hand and tell me what remnant is in our vocabulary for this week. Silently read that sentence again. All right, I'm going to read out loud. I want you to silently follow along right there. Okay? Oh, goodness. All right. Very imaginative, Ma said, but the Bible frowns on women dressing in the remnant of men. So what's she dressing in? What's she dressing in? Try. Not a wedding gown. Nevaeh? Men's clothing. So does the Bible agree with women wearing men's clothing in this story? No. So Miss Weaver doesn't think that's the best idea. All right. We're at yes, Miss Weaver. Yes, Miss Weaver, and the Bible frowns on treating human beings like beasts of burden. Why, I heard a preacher once say even the beasts of the field had a Sabbath day of rest. Mr. James Weaver, are you listening? Yes, Miss Elizabeth, he groaned. Maybe that steeple was just too tall. He lopped off the point by hiding it in the clouds. Better. And that's not all. William did Ellen Craft up as an invalid, so no one would know she couldn't read or write like a gentleman should. Put her arm in a sling so she couldn't sign the register in all those fine hotels where she had put her head down each night. She hobbled with a cane. He said she was a deaf, so she never had to talk. What a sight she must have been, Ma said. And William, he went with her as her manservant. Miss Elizabeth laughed, took up her sewing again. First time it wasn't the other way around. Wife being the servant to the husband. James asked, are you married, Miss Elizabeth? Was. The subject was clearly closed, and no one said anything for the longest time, which gave James some hope. Then she started in again. 4 days they traveled from Georgia to South Carolina, to North Carolina, to Virginia, to Washington, to Baltimore, and finally to Philadelphia. How many boats and trains would you guess, Mr. James Weaver? He had no idea. More than 6? 3 boats and 5 trains. And mind, neither one of them could read a sign, a ticket, a word, or any language. Didn't dare ask anyone either. It's a miracle they found their way. I guess they followed the drinking gourd, James said, slamming his book shut. So what happened? Before the popping eyes of those white men in Philadelphia, Miss Ellen Craft transformed herself from a sickly Southern gentleman into a beautiful, strong woman. A preacher married them proper, and they went to Boston to give lectures. Got to be pretty famous. Why, yes, Ma said. I do believe I remember hearing about them. Amen, James said. Not quite. Some president, his name was Millard Fillmore, he sent 600 soldiers to Boston to capture Ellen and William Craft. Imagine 600 soldiers after 2 free black souls. Amazing. Miss Malone never told them about this. And then what happened? Sailed for England very fast. A fugitive is safe there, not like here. James was surprised to hear Ma ask, has thee a child? No child, Miss Weaver. I lost my Matthew Luke Charles before we were ever blessed with a child. That's assuming that getting born into slavery is a blessing. Tell us about Matthew Luke, James said. Mr. Charles to thee, son. He had 3 first names, Miss Elizabeth said with a chuckle. How did he die? Asked James. Well, Miss Elizabeth said indigently, you think I'm going to tell you how he died before I tell you how he lived? Then how did he live, Miss Elizabeth? Very, very well, she replied, puffing up with pride. Rich for a while, signing papers, meeting with all the manners of businessmen. Mr. Charles, then, he wasn't an African? James asked. Oh, of course he was an African, Ma said. A free man, no doubt. No, Miss Weaver, not a free man. He was the son of a slave. He was the son of a slave master. Ouch! Yelled Miss Elizabeth. The needle came right up and stuck me. She popped her finger into her mouth and sewed. Ma gently prodded. I'm sewing as fast as I can with my finger bleeding. Tell us more about my husband. Miss Elizabeth peered at him over the finger she was sucking. Time's not right. But Miss Elizabeth, James protested. Amen and salah, she said, and her lips were sealed. Alright, let's pause right there. Alright, so let's look back at our focus. Ready to look for tensions or uncomfortable feelings. Alright? Now, as we partner read this next time, I want you to look for that, but I also want you to keep an eye out for what the theme of the chapter is. Alright, remember the theme is the moral of the chapter. And when we get to small group, when we get to flex groups, we're going to talk about the theme in this chapter, okay? Alright, so turn back to chapter 14, page 82. Alright, I'm gonna give you about 7 minutes to read with your partner, okay? Alright? And you may start. Right, okay.